We're all here before you. Yeah, Jada, we were here. You got to
All right, so let's see.
This is a lot of work. Like what? Will we be able to see her?
Yep, we got to. Here we
So
go.
our face will be on the computer. Her face will be on that screen.
Here we go.
She's connecting. I don't have glasses on, so I can't see anything. I don't know if it says connecting. It says connecting. Ringing. So, how do you pronounce her last name? French?
French?
No.
Maybe?
Watch it not work. She's in? Yeah, she does live in California. So, like, wait, where does she live?
Oh, we can ask.
She's not gonna. Whoa.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
can you see us?
No, I see a big cake in the center.
Let's see. Oh, there we are.
There you. Oh, you guys look great.
You're pretty.
Oh, thanks. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. You're such an enthusiastic bunch. I love that.
Thank you. Face? Wait, it's not face.
Skype.
It's a Skype, not face.
So how's California?
California is actually rainy today, believe it or not.
It's raining here.
No, it's not.
It's just cold.
It's cloudy. It's cloudy.
It's gloomy.
Miss French, sorry, I'm Victor Grande. I'm in the back here. A couple of things I forgot to tell the class. The microphone will cut in and out depending on if we're talking or she's talking, so we have to give her a turn and us a turn. And so we'll just use this like a class. Raise your hand if you want to say something, and then we won't cut in and out on the microphone. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a mix. We have a raise your hand if you are in my video production class, broadcast class. Okay.
Nice.
So these students have been flying drones this week. We flew UDIs and Phantoms today. And then raise your hand if you're in my photography club. Okay. These students stay after school on Thursdays, and we do a photo club, and they're also interested in our Skype session today.
Great. Good for you. How is the drone flying going?
Good. Amazing.
Cool.
Somebody want to raise their hand? Want to tell her?
Question?
Lainey?
Question? Okay, I have a question. Do you ever get frustrated when you fly your drones?
Yes, so many times. So you guys fly the DJI Phantom, which is a really great drone. I started flying the DJI Flame Wheel, which didn't have any type of GPS lock or altitude lock, which means, you fly your drone and it can sort of just hover there. And so back in the day, they just used to crash all the time and were so unreliable. But even now, there's so much that goes into RC flying. You have to connect to the Wi-Fi, and sometimes even just clearing and reformatting your memory card means that you have to completely restart your whole drone. And it really can be a frustrating experience. And I feel like that's a reason why people get discouraged. Have you guys had any experiences of, the Wi-Fi not connecting or something like that?
Yeah.
Yes, it is definitely very frustrating. I won't deny that at all. But I think the challenge is also a really good thing. I mean, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And it makes you better. You have to think, logically, okay, my camera isn't recording video. Let's think about the reasons why. And you really have to use some logic to figure it out. Good question.
So hang on the questions for 1 second. So, Ms. French, do you mind just to kind of tell us just maybe a little bit about what you do and how you got started, and then we can maybe ask you some questions after you tell us about you and what you do with your site?
For sure. So I have the blog Drone Girl, which I understand that you guys have already checked out. So I'm so flattered by that. And so basically, I got into drones. I was a journalism student, so like you guys, I was really interested in video and photography from a still camera. So you guys probably have some experience shooting on DSLRs, and now you can even shoot so much with just your iPhone. So I was really interested in that, but I started thinking, how can I do something a little different? And so I was a journalism student at the University of Missouri. Have you guys ever been to Missouri? It's a great place. Pretty close to you guys.
Yeah, raise your hand if you've been to St. Louis. All right, so.
Oh, we got St. Louis people. Nice. It's a good place. And so basically, I needed 1 credit to graduate. And so our school offered so many classes, but pretty much the only thing that fit into my schedule was a drone class. So I signed up for that class, and I got really into it. As you guys have probably found, flying a drone is really cool. It's a totally different perspective. You can get shots that you would get literally no other way. And so I started this blog basically just to host my photos. Do any of you guys have a blog or an Instagram account or something like that? Cool, a bunch of you do. Oh, it seems like all of you do. Wow. So I basically wanted someplace to host my photos. Instagram wasn't around at the time, so or it wasn't big. So I posted my photos there, and the blog sort of morphed. I started with 2 followers, I kept it up, and the 2 followers that were pretty much my mom and my dad eventually grew to more and more people, and suddenly, you get thousands of people when you really stick to something. So now that's what I do. I also separately work full-time for the Wall Street Journal for their Market Watch site, but the Drone Girl is sort of my personal project. So I write about drone news. I do lots of reviews of new drones. I still love to take photos with drones. So all sorts of things. I travel and I talk about drones. So it's drones all the time.
All right, so since it's drones, can we ask you some questions about the drones now?
What?
You said it's drones all the time, so we have a bunch of drone questions for you.
Good, let's get to them. So many, I love this.
All right, okay, so Jamichael, you want to go? Introduce yourself and ask a question.
My name is Jamichael, and I have a question. My question is, what are your favorite shot types?
What are my favorite shot types?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think the cool thing about a drone is sort of getting the shot that's too high to take from a ladder or from a selfie stick, but something that's low enough that you wouldn't be able to get from something like a helicopter. So there's already, obviously so many photos from the ground, millions of them that we all take with our iPhones. And then some people do get a little higher, maybe get up on a balcony or get up on a ladder or get that selfie stick. And then you see the photos from the helicopter, and they're, really wide shots, so you can see the whole landscape, but you don't really get any detail. It's hard to see, who is that person on the ground, or exactly what kind of tree is that, or, what does the architecture look like on that building. And so the cool thing about a drone, I find the best shots are ones that are maybe, something like 40 or 50 feet up off the ground. So not even something super high, because a helicopter can get that anyway, but, flying through the trees. So 40 feet, that's about 4 stories. And I find, those shots where you're just gliding over the tops of the trees or just cutting over a bridge, something like that. I think those shots are the ones that are really special, and you could never have gotten those through any other means other than a drone. Good question.
Make sure you guys talk loud. Caroline Moffat.
Hi, I follow you on Instagram, and on one of your pictures, you had a picture with this drone that looks like a big egg. Was it hard to fly?
Thanks for following me on Instagram, Caroline. Yes. So there was a drone, it was called the Power Egg, and basically the appeal of it is, you probably know with your DJI Phantoms, you have to take off the propellers to pack them away. It's kind of big, clunky, probably doesn't fit in your backpack unless you have a Phantom, a special drone backpack. So the idea is it kind of just tucks into your backpack. And yes, it does not fly the same way as the Phantom. It just doesn't have the same level of control. And it's sort of interesting. So we're in this era where businesses want to distinguish themselves. So the Phantom is a really, really great drone. That's why you guys fly them, and so many people do. So businesses start thinking, how can we make a product that isn't already out there on the market? And so they say, oh, we're going to make a drone that looks like an egg. And that gets people talking and gets people thinking about it. Is it better than a Phantom? I'm going to say no. But it definitely caught your attention, and that's what smart business people try to do.
My name is Lily, and is there like a specific type of drones that you like fly?
Yeah, that's a good question, Lily. So there's all kinds of drones. So obviously the Phantom is a great drone. Unique makes a really cool drone called a each has more than just 4 rotors. It has 6. So the drone needs 4 to create lift. So if 2 of them break or something malfunctions, then the drone can still fly with 4 rotors. So I really like that about the Unique Typhoon. I also really like racing drones. Have any of you guys tried racing drones? Oh, a few of you have. So that's really fun and really different. It's not really so much for aerial photography, so I know you have a photography class, but I think racing is sort of a fun hobby to do. So I've flown the Blade Nano racing drone, where you put on the FPV goggles, the first-person view goggles, and those are a total trip. Those are really fun.
Hi, my name is Shada, and my question is, what recommendations do you have for young kids who have just started drones?
Ooh, all kinds of tips. Do it, stick to it. So the first question I love at was, do you ever get frustrated? And the answer is yes, and it is so easy to give up in whatever you do. Maybe you're a soccer player and you didn't make the goal, and it's easy to say, I'm done with soccer, I'm not good at this. And same with drone flying. It's easy to say, the batteries, I forgot to charge the battery, I'm so frustrated. But the important thing is just to not give up. If it's something that you love, it's something that interests you, there's always going to be roadblocks. Whether it's that technology doesn't work, or whether, maybe you're applying to be the editor of the student newspaper and you didn't get the role, that doesn't mean that you should give up. And so just keep doing it and trying something new, and take a photo that it was hard to take, and keep moving forward.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Natalie. What influenced you to start to fly drones?
Ooh, you're gonna have to repeat that question. I did not hear that one.
What
Sorry.
influenced you to start flying drones?
What made you start flying drones, like to stay with flying drones after you took that college course? What made you keep at it?
Yeah. I felt like for me, the thing that kept me in it was actually the community. So that's why it's so awesome to see like 20 of you who all have such great energy in this room. I met some people. So after I graduated college, I moved to Southern California, and I met some people who flew drones. And it was so inspiring to fly with them because they were better photographers than I was. I was flying a little Phantom, and they had this whole rig that was, very fancy. They were doing the FPV. They were taking, professional video, and they actually had a film company. But they were so good to learn from, and also just so fun to hang out with. We used to, wake up at 5 a.m. and meet at, the Balboa Island, this place in Southern California, where we would go fly drones, and we would, bring waffles and eat them together and fly drones. And that's what really, kind of keeps me in it. And now, I have so many friends in the drone community that I don't want to quit drones because I love the people in it, and the people, help me and give me tips. So recently, the FAA released their drone test to be a commercial pilot. And so, we were all sharing study tips and saying, I took this course, or I used this study guide. Let me email you this study guide that I used. And I think the community is so cool. So that's why it's so cool to see you guys.
Okay, I have to sort of jump in here. So somebody, who had the question about how old she was? Sorry, we have, go ahead. Introduce yourself, ask her.
Hi, I'm Kyla, and I was kind of just wondering how old you are because you're really good at drones, and you look really young.
How old do you think I am?
Oh. And you're 20?
26. 27.
28.
28.
Okay, you guys are pretty good guessers. I'm 24, so you're not too far off. My 26er, you are a good guess. So I'm 24. Go ahead.
Well, so the reason why I wanted to point that out, so I want to point this out to them. You're out of college, but you're talking about study guides and taking tests and continuing to learn. And so I want them to realize, this isn't something like you just get out of, we only give you study guides in school. You only take tests in school. You're a grown adult, you're out of college, but you're still taking tests and getting certifications. So I just had to kind of stop, and that was my teacher button. I had to hit pause and say, look, this is like life. You take tests and you have to learn and you have to teach yourself and share a study guide. Sorry, that was my teacher moment.
No, that's great. But it doesn't get any easier. It's very important to have the friend groups who share study guides because I really do not like test taking, but it's just something that you have to do and it makes you better. And I have to say, I just passed the FAA test last week, and it feels so good to know, to have that proof to say, yes, I know this. It's a great feeling. So.
Okay. I'm Aiden Yang, and my question was, out of all the drones you've flown, what was your favorite?
Ooh, I really like the unique Typhoon. I feel like the Phantom is great. But the unique Typhoon is something that I was talking about with the 6 rotors, and it actually has legs that fold up. So I don't know if you've ever taken a video where the camera kind of picks up some of the propellers or sometimes the legs. If you fly your drone kind of at an angle very quickly, the camera will not turn quickly enough. And do you see the legs in your shot?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten that? And it totally ruins your shot. So I like the Typhoon because the legs actually fold up, and so the camera just angles down below, and then there's nothing in your shot, which is very convenient. Good question.
One other thing I'll mention here, you talked about on the unique drone that has the 6 blades. We watched a video by the group OK Go that was shot with the drone, and so we saw a shadow of that drone in the video, and so we all we paused and everybody saw an example of what you're talking about this week. All right, let's see, who hasn't gone? You haven't gone.
My name is Paige, and I have a question about how many drones do you own?
Good question, Paige. Hello. I actually only own 1 drone to my name, and that is the original DJI Phantom 1. So, Paige, what drone is your class flying? The Phantom 3?
I'm just in photography, so I don't know.
So I own 1, but then always I have drones to review. So companies will say, do you want me to review our product? Or I also work with B&H Photo. They're a big photo company in New York. So they'll send me drones, and then I'll review those. So I always have drones in and out. I think right now in my house I have 4, but I always send them back when I'm done reviewing them.
Okay, we fly the UDI 818. It's like a little cheapy, like a toy drone. And they're about $50, but they're great to learn on. And then we fly the Phantom 3, and we just got a Phantom 3 4K, which is basically the same thing, just with the upgraded camera. That's the white one. And so that's what we learn first on the ones we have to do everything on, and then we graduate, and we just posted our footage. They haven't seen it yet. They shot today on the Phantom. Yeah, I'll show you after this. So
you guys can send that to me.
So you guys, she mentioned this. B&H is like a big photography company out in New York, and you mentioned your product reviews. I know we had some questions about the YouTube channel that you guys had, and some questions about her shop and things like that. So who had a question about that? Somebody up here. Go ahead. Say it loud. I can't hear you. Ask your question.
My name is Kimmy, and my question is, what do you do when you're not flying drones?
Oh, what do I do when I'm not flying drones? Ooh, I love that question. As much as I love talking about drones, I do have other hobbies. So I like to play piano. I also studied piano in college, and I really like powerlifting. So I am actually doing my first powerlifting competition in November. So that is also something I'm very excited about.
Good for you. Powerlifting. My name is Mary, and I was wondering, when did you start flying drones?
Oh, can you repeat that question?
My name is Mary, and I was wondering, when did you start flying drones?
Oh, when did I start flying drones? Yeah, so it's funny you ask how old I am, because I haven't really even been flying drones that long. I started my senior year of college, so that was when I was 20. So now I'm 24, so it's really been about 3 to 4 years that I've been flying drones. So I think that's, something kind of cool, is that your hobbies can change, so much, and just because you didn't start something when you were 10 years old, you're never too late to get into it. You can always, pick up a new skill set. I just got certified by the FAA. So just because you didn't study it in, middle school doesn't mean that you can't be good at it in high school. And I love, keep learning and keep trying new things.
We talked about this in class. No one's really been doing this more than maybe 3 years. Is that pretty accurate? I mean,
Yeah.
a few people have, but as far as the people who are being professional videographers and who are making a living at this or incorporating into their business, no one's really that much further ahead than anybody else. This is all new to everybody.
Right, yeah, for sure. And, there's so much pressure, when you're in middle school. People ask, what do you want to do when you grow up? And you feel like you have to have this answer. You have to say, I want to be a doctor. But you don't really know if you want to be a doctor. So many things change. But the cool thing is that maybe you can be a doctor for the first 10 years of your life. And then, something like drones comes out and you can make a career change. And that is totally okay to do. Oh, can you repeat that question? Sorry, my sound is not too big.
My name's Addie, and I have a question. When you first flew a drone, did you think that you would stick with it?
Did I think I would stick with it?
Like, did you know right away that this was, like, your thing?
Oh, yeah, no, actually. The first time I flew a drone, I crashed it right into a stack of chairs. So the first time I flew a drone, I was terrible at it. So no, it took definitely the duration of the class to really learn about it. So absolutely not, and that's totally okay.
My name is Breezy, and I wanted to know how you first found out about drones.
How I first found out about drones? Pretty much just because that was the only thing that fit into my schedule. So in college, it's not like in junior high school where it's sort of this set, like the hours that you go to school, like 8 to 2 or, whatever hours you go. College, there's all kinds of classes. You only need to take, usually it's like 6 classes a week. And so you have a lot of free time, but then you also have a busy schedule because you're working. So pretty much the only thing that fit into my schedule was this class called drones. So that's really the only reason why I signed up for it, and it was pure luck, and it worked out great.
Okay, we got a couple more questions. I know you're doing this on your lunch break, so we'll let you go here, but we have just a couple more.
For sure.
My name's Sid, and I was wondering, what was your major? Like, what were you going?
Oh, yes, my majors. Yeah, I went to school for journalism, and that is actually what I do full-time now. So I work for, it's called MarketWatch as a site, and we're a finance news site, so I do journalism full-time. I was also a double major in German, so if we want to do our next talk in German, that's totally fine with me.
My name is Delaney, and how long have you been doing this as a career?
Yeah, so as a career, I mean, I started flying drones, like, as we said, 3 to 4 years ago, but I really didn't sort of start, making money off of it and making it a real company until probably the last year, and that was due to a lot of factors. A lot of it was just the industry hasn't really been that big, so I imagine your school's drone program is relatively new, and so there's just not a lot of people who had come to my site in the past because people hadn't heard of drones. Also, the Federal Aviation Administration didn't make commercial drone use legal until really this year. So a lot of kind of the business opportunities haven't even sprung up until this year. So this is kind of the year that I've really made this my business.
So we've talked a little bit about one of the things in my class we do is we've done YouTube channel videos in the past. And a lot of people say like, oh, I want to have a YouTube channel. And, you say we looked at your site and you have links to Amazon and B&H and you have a shop and you talk. So like, what are some of the different ways that you're turning this into a business?
Yeah, that's a super good question. I mean, it's so interesting because there's so many, the standard jobs in 2016 are so different than the jobs that your parents had. It seemed like, when I was a kid, your job options were like, do you want to be a doctor? Do you want to be a lawyer? Do you want to be a teacher? And they were sort of this, standard job. And those are great, and we still have those jobs now. But it's crazy that now you can make money and have a business just on the internet. And so I run ads on my website, so I make money that way. I also, since I have this website, I go and I speak around the world, and so people will, actually give you money to speak at their conference, which is kind of a crazy thing that I never expected I would be able to do. Also, I have a lot of partnerships with companies, so they say, will you include a link to, our drone training course? And for everyone who buys this drone training course through your link, we'll give you X% of the cost. And so it's sort of a win-win. You do have to put what's called an FTC disclaimer. So basically it's the government saying you have to make clear that you're making money and this is an ad. So you have to write that on the bottom of your blog post. But you can pretty much make money just writing blog posts that way, which is so crazy. And then, yes, I have a shop too. So there's all these different sources of income. And as any business will tell you, whatever your business is, you don't want to depend on just one means of income. So if you're only depending on your shop, maybe all of a sudden something happens and the factory that makes your clothing falls apart, then your shop is totally out of commission and you're not going to make money. Likewise, maybe you're only making money off of these drone training courses, but, people decide they don't want to take drone training courses anymore. If that flow of income goes away, you're not totally left with nothing. So it's great to diversify your business and have a lot of different ways to have income.
Jacob and Caroline and then Laura.
My name is Jacob. I was wondering, what is your favorite place to fly drones?
What is my favorite place to fly drones? I will tell you, one of the coolest drone videos that I ever think I took was over a fire. And here's my disclaimer to begin with, is you should never fly over a fire unless you have permission from the fire department to be there. A lot of people don't get permission from the fire department and end up causing problems and actually hindering the firefighting abilities. But if you do work with the fire department, you can get really cool shots. So when I was in Missouri, I worked with the local fire department there, and they actually did a controlled fire. They did a prairie burn. And so we flew over, and it was cool because you could see the scope of the fire. You could see how close it was to the highway. And I just felt like that shot was something that you couldn't really get any other way. And it was obviously scary because we were flying in a $1,000 drone over a burning field, which was scary to take too.
Caroline?
Hi, I'm Caroline. I already told you that, but oh well. I was actually, my question was going to be if you ever crashed a drone, but you said you crashed it into chairs. Because the first time I flew mine, I hit the ceiling in the cafeteria.
Oh yeah, you know what? Everyone crashes, and it's really not a big deal. I think it just you learn from it and you get better.
Last one, Nicole.
My name's Shada, but out of all the places you've been to, which country is your favorite?
Ooh, which country is my favorite? I really like countries where the culture is very different than the U.S. So I was recently, I did a conference in the United Arab Emirates. And then while I was there, I took a little side trip to Kenya. And you can actually not have drones there. But I did some ground photography, actually, because I'm still interested in that. And I loved Kenya because I feel like the people have, a completely different culture than the people do here. I mentioned earlier I'm really into fitness, and so I went on a run with some guys from Kenya, and I was like, "Have you ever outrun an elephant?" sort of as a joke, and they were like, "Yes, we have actually." And so it's really cool to learn from people who have a completely different cultural experience than you do and get a different perspective.
Thank you.
So this is something else I think is amazing, that because of your interest in drones, you've been able to literally go to the other side of the world and talk. Like, we saw that you were in Dubai a couple weeks ago, and this interest has literally taken you around the world talking about it, about a topic that's only maybe 3 years old for most people. So
yeah, it's so fascinating. And Dubai's drone laws are very different than the U.S.'s drone laws, which is also fascinating to learn about.
Well, I know we have several people, and they wanted to include you on their Instagram. So do you mind if we take a second, and I don't know if they want to do a Skype selfie or whatever, so they have a chance to post you on their
love
Instagram?
That. You need to send it to me.
However you want to do it. So if you want to tag her, tag yourself.
Here, I guess we do this.
Oh, yeah.
They see your shadow.
Here,
yeah.
Somebody move it. Oh yeah, Laney, move your phone. Jaden.
Not even in it. Oh, my forehead was in it.
Your phone was in it.
My forehead was in it. Excuse me.
This is so confusing. Jada, scoot over. Scoot. This
Nice.
is Jada. I can't get a good smile, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
No, all right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
This is really great. Thank you.
You got
So if you wanted to include the drone in your shot with you and Sally French, you can do that. So you,
I'm girl.
there.
I would love to see it.
Make sure if you post it that you tag her in it and share it with her.
Oh, I like the Indian song case. Oh, Phantom, that's awesome.
I'm gonna hide under the cart.
Very cool. Good DJ Phantom right there. Oh, and then you have the VIRC. I did a review of that one once.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they're great to train on. And I think those are harder to fly than the Phantom. So if you can master that, you can easily master the Phantom.
Yeah, what we do, we go out on the field hockey field and we put 4 hula hoops going on the sideline, and then 4 hula hoops in the middle of the field, and they have to fly in groups between the hoops. So they have about 25 feet of space between groups, and then they have a defined target that they have to take off and go to. And it works.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then that way we can also get you know, we can have 4 groups flying, 4 people per group, so we got like 16 students actively involved.
Thank you for Skyping with us.
Thank you. You guys
Yeah,
so
we carefully put it back in the box.
Bye.
The drone video.
Wait, don't leave yet.
Oh, yeah, guys, the drone footage is posted on YouTube on our Kammerer site.
Okay, thank
if
you.
you want to check it out.
Can I tell everybody?
Okay, our school has
You like
a
my
YouTube
case?
channel, so it's Kammerer Middle School, and then we have like a YouTube account with like 1 billion videos. So you should check those out.
You should follow me on Instagram.
Oh, cool.
Go follow Kammerer on Instagram. It's Kammerer Middle School. And follow me. It's CAROLI.
If you tag me, then I'll find you.
Okay.
Okay.
What'd she say?
She said if you tag her in it, she'll follow you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm tagging you right now.
Thank you guys.
Thank
You guys
you.
had so much fun.
We love you, Sally friend.
Follow me on Instagram.
You're amazing.
If you want her, tag her in your Instagram with her.
Tag me too.
Make sure you get that Minions phone case in your Instagram. That's a cool one.
Thank you.
I'm gonna send it over to my
I got you.
Look at my puppy. Look at.
Is that what everyone's on these days? Instagram?
What's that?
Is everyone using Instagram? Are you
Yeah.
guys on Facebook or do you do Instagram?
I'm on
Instagram.
Facebook and
I'm on
Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram.
I'm
I'm not on Facebook because my mom.
Snapchat. I would say at this level, probably Snapchat is what everybody uses for their like
Oh
I
more
just
private
tagged
life,
you. Tagged you.
and then Instagram is like
You're
their
right there. You're
Instagram
tagged.
is their version of Facebook.
Awesome.
I'm Kyla, by the way.
Oh, cool. That's great. I
Wait,
love
is
it.
this you? Like
Yeah, that's
that
Oh, yeah, I
official
just
girl?
got one from
Oh, you
KTTA.
can't see that. I'm private, but mine's
Well-
Lainey Christopher.
Anyway, my
What's
name's
going on
Shannon
at
Walker,
Valerie?
so if you find that on there,
Everyone's
you can be
outside.
like, hey, I know her, she's my best friend, let's follow her. That's what you can say.
I will look for all of you. This is great. We got
I want to go to the
Good
valley,
notification.
but no, where's he get
I'm
to the
underscore
valley?
Lainey point Christopher underscore. See,
Oh,
this is
yeah.
the one. This is what I was talking about.
Yeah. So what do you think of our
My
space?
bad.
Stop, Jada.
You like?
Yeah, you're posted.
So what do you think about the design of that?
Oh. It says follow you, so you know
Oh,
you'll.
cool.
So what?
Tag official drone girl in it, and then I'll see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
All right.
Did you-
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Nice to meet you. You're pretty.
Bye.
You're very pretty.
Thank you. Keep up.
Oh wait.
Good job, Mr.
All right.
D.
All right.
Thank
Excellent
you.
job. All right. Thank you guys.
She's typing.
She's typing.
She's not. Is she typing? Oh, she's typing.
How do you have a picture of her?
That's her whatever thing.
Oh, she stopped typing. Oh, yeah, she is.
So when the bell rings,
Yeah.
in the middle of like related art.
Can we watch the video?
Right, thank you. The kids
Yeah,
enjoyed
the
it.
drones are excited to.
Aw. Right, thank you. The kids enjoyed it.
You don't even have to look at the computer.
No.
Where do
Oh, there we go.
Where does the light go? Oh my gosh, where does the light go?
Oh, she said we were inspiring.
She's typing again. She's typing.
Can you show us the drone video?
It's on YouTube. You guys can watch it.
Or we can watch it now. That would be the better idea.
Or that would be the better idea.
Can we?
Let's see. Oh, they're not fully processed yet. They're 88% processed.
She sent the message.
Oh, wait,
Stop me.
I should
Come here.
say.
Have a look at my drone footage.
Hey, have a great weekend. Keep up. Let's stay in touch on Instagram. I'm not on Snapchat.
Be like, you should.
How is
You're.
that moving?
That's one of them that you can get from like.
It's moving.
Oh my gosh, it's moving.
Yeah. All right, we're quitting.